Hello, my name is Norbert Hammes. I'm German. I was born on the 29th of December 1953. Let me talk to you about a very special issue. Here you see a picture of my deceased father. He was born in 1933 and he died in 2004. He was a real special man because he caught attention of American elites, mostly Bilderberg, because he was such a self-made man. He led the whole world market in plastics engineering, and so they addressed him. They needed capable addressing partners in Germany because the political class there at that time was a bit retarded. So they talked with him. They made him a leading figure in Germany behind the scenery, strictly behind the sceneries. So he became a powerful man, and like that he also became well acquainted with an ex-Nazi, an industrial leader, high-ranking industrial leader called Hans-Martin Schleyer. These were quite turbulent times then. Everywhere there were left-wing fighters in the underground, real rebels everywhere, and in Germany they called themselves the Red Army Fraction. They abducted that Hans-Martin Schleyer, and later they shot him. In a parallel action, by armed Palestinians, a German plane with German tourists was hijacked from Mallorca, Spain. They had a chaotic odyssey for 5 days and finally wound up in Mogadishu, Somalia. My father, he felt obliged to interfere because he knew that Hans-Martin Schleyer very well. So he led a secret task force behind the official task force in the German parliament. He elaborated a plan to free the hostages by force and later to kill the leftist prisoners who were in jail in Germany, faking suicides. Well, before that, he went to a high-security jail in Germany called Stuttgart-Stammheim. There he discussed with the leading figure of the imprisoned rebellious left-wing fighters. His name was Andreas Bader. Later he accompanied him on a still secret flight to Mogadishu, Somalia. According to my father's plan then, the plane was raided and the left-wing prisoners in Stuttgart-Stammheim, they were murdered, faking suicides, which is still the official version. All this was performed in practice by a paramilitary group in Germany who called themselves the GSG-9. It still exists, Grenzschutzgruppe 9, GSG-9. The names of the left-wing imprisoned individuals who were killed were Andreas Bader, Gudrun Enslin, Jan Karl Raspe. There was another one, a woman called Irmgard Möller, who still lives. Allegedly, she stabbed herself twice in a row near the heart, which is biologically not possible. She still claims there were no suicides, which is true. So how can I know all this? My father, he told me in a drunken night, in a drunken New Year's night when the 1980s began, he told me all kinds of things. These things he told me, and also other ones. Everything that is related to these murder issues, I couldn't keep it in mind because I was drunk as well. My apologies, that's ridiculous, but it's true. And there were also kinds of things that he said in that night that I did keep in mind. Maybe you remember the German chancellor called Willy Brandt. He was forced to step back by leading industrial circles, BDI, Bundesverband der deutschen Industrie. They forced him to step back, really classically blackmailing him with intimate snapshots. So he had to go because he was too reformist for them. So you ask yourself, how then can I know all the things by now if I hadn't really captured them accurately? Well, the truth is in the year 2005, in summer 2005, when my father was already dead, I had a fierce and an uncontrolled discussion with my mother, and all kinds of facts came on the table. It's very important to me to report the real truth about that paramilitary group, GSG-9. They are more like a private mafia. They act worldwide. They kill people for their own private profit, and only occasionally they execute people for the German government. Well, I hold all these informations. My father had informed his circus about that conversation that he had had with me, and so they observed me planning to kill me. I didn't know all this for decades. Now I know. By the year 1980 they sent a special team to Spain, where I was then, and they wanted to kill me, but they were whistled back. So it's very important to me to address the word. I got occasionally I got helpful partners in Germany, in the German-speaking world. I managed to get a real good video done, a video interview with some professional aid, and it caught really a whole lot of attention in the German-speaking segment of the internet. But like that, of course, I can't address the whole world. Well, occasionally I meet people who help me. For instance, I also know a guy from Austria, he's called Christoph Smolnik. He keeps interested in these issues as well and tries to promote them, and he regularly keeps the graves in order, the graves of the murdered leftist prisoners. Well, that's very meritful, I guess. Well, what do we learn from what I have to say? There doesn't lie any hope in the Western kind of democracy and capitalism. This is all only a mask. Elites, they keep their power-greedy ways in mind, and they're not really reliable. They're ready to break every rule for their power-greedy ways. So I think there doesn't really lie any hope in Western capitalism. That's my belief about it. So stand up, be proud, don't get fooled, and good luck to you all.